everybody, and finally welcome back. I have to admit that I didn't keep my promise to post and to create a podcast episode anyway, even if I'm on a business trip. I'm really sorry that I didn't keep up with my schedule of posting every other day. I brought my running gear with me on the business trip, as obviously bringing my bike would have been more than inconvenient, as we have been traveling by plane. The place where we went, there are 0 mountains, so bringing a mountain bike would be even more inconvenient. Therefore, I brought my running gear, as I thought it's not that space consuming in my suitcase. I brought a sports shirt, my running trousers, my running jacket and my running shoes. And on the very first day, I came back into my hotel at around 10 p.m. And there I had to make a decision. Either I'm running late in the evening and getting back at around 11 p.m. or flinching and not going for a run. I really liked the idea about laying down in my comfortable bed and not doing anything. But I also thought about the relaxing feeling which you experience after you doing sports such as mountain biking or running. That awesome feeling of having done something which normal people aren't willing to do. The feeling that you have made progress, the feeling of pursuing your goals, the feeling of not flinching, and the feeling of keeping your promises. So in the end, I decided to go for a run either way, even if it was late in the evening. I brought my headlamp, as I didn't want it to be run over by a car or somebody else, even if there have been street lights all the way where I've been running. So always safety first. Before going on a business trip, I already searched for some running routes, actually dedicated running routes. I didn't find any on the internet. So I tried to look on Google Maps with the satellite overlay to see where running could be the most easiest and most safe. I've chosen 2 routes, but in the end I haven't took those routes and I run in one direction where I thought it would be okay to run on the sidewalk with as few streetlights as possible so I don't have to stop. And I didn't run normally, as I thought, why not do the interval training by running? I reduced the times a bit, so like 5 minutes of warm-up, then 3 minutes of intense interval, 2 minutes of resting, that repeated 3 times, and then getting back to the hotel as I didn't knew where I would finish. So first of all, I had to cross a quite big crossing, which took me quite a while as the streetlights haven't been green immediately, and after that I started my run. For the first few minutes I placed my phone in the pocket located on my rear back in my trousers, as it isn't bouncing around while running, but actually I missed my first interval due to that, as the volume of the interval timer was way too low, so I didn't hear that. And afterwards I was running by holding my phone in my hand to hear it better and also try to navigate with Google Maps if I got lost, just to get in a direction where running would be most comfortable without any cars and with a sidewalk to run on. And if I approached a traffic light which was red, I decided to either run left or right randomly to keep me going and not to stop in any way, which turned out quite well. I didn't have to stop or turn left or right on a lot of streetlights, as most of them have been green. And I also managed to run on sidewalks, which haven't been interrupted by crossings or streetlights. So Google Maps helped me a lot there. And obviously, due to mountain biking, my stamina was quite good and I could push really hard. So just from my feeling, it felt extremely fast. So I've been running 5.5 kilometers in 31 minutes. Which is an okay time, I guess. It's not extremely fast, not extremely slow. In the intense interval sections, I really pushed hard, so I almost sprinted as I tried to run as fast as I could run for 3 minutes, and afterwards I was resting for 2 minutes. And during the run, the only bad thing was that I had a stitch in my lower left stomach, but besides that it worked out quite well, so even that my training normally is only consisting of mountain biking, which is pretty one-sided, I hadn't had any problems during running. And the same thing wasn't true after the run. So the next day I had pretty good muscle soreness. And the thing is, when I contract and I use muscles which I normally wouldn't use, and in this case running is challenging my muscles in a completely different way than mountain biking is, as my muscles have to absorb shocks and bumps and forces which aren't normally happening during mountain biking. So my legs have been pretty sore after the first day. And usually when I use my muscles in a different way than my normal training, so like if my muscles have to perform a movement or a sport which they aren't used to, I get really bad muscle soreness, which can persist for a week or something. So I was running on Tuesday and the muscle soreness today on Saturday is quite bad. So I probably won't be able to ride or run for the next 3 days or something. Especially going downstairs, feel the muscle soreness quite strong. So there have been 2 problems. One has been that I did a sport which I didn't practice in a long time. And furthermore, I didn't start slowly. I wanted to see how fast I could run using the stamina build up by mountain biking, and that was the biggest error I made. Because I should have started slowly, as my legs obviously couldn't adapt to this type of training. After one training, no muscle can adapt this fast. And therefore I'm also having this bad muscle soreness right now. And the 2 reasons why I was still doing exercise during my business trip was either one, I didn't want to break my training routine of training every other day. And the second was I wanted to see how fast I could run, as I'm thinking of participating at this company run, which is taking place every August, I think. Employees can subscribe themselves to this run, to run either alone or in teams of 2 people in the name of their company. It's a race to promote health or something. So I found it quite cool. I did participate a few years back, but now I want to see how much I can improve myself and how I'm comparing to other runners. So I have to see, either I still want to break my e-bike time record on my bike, but I also want to see how fast I can run, as I found running quite cool. Not as much as biking, but it's getting close. So I'm thinking about training every other day on my mountain bike and running every other day between the mountain biking training. That's quite an ambitious plan, to be honest. But currently I'm extremely motivated to push my body as hard as I can to see what he's capable of and to what I'm capable of doing with my mind and my body. I hope that my muscle soreness isn't as bad anymore on Monday, so I can start again with the interval training. So you can expect the next podcast to